Hi, in this video, we're going to learn how to do a cutout. This is where the background will be removed and you can put images on top of anything with any kind of background. So the first step that we want to do is I'm going to show you a couple tools. The first one is the magic wand. Now this will select certain areas, but in this particular photo, it's not going to work the best because there's a lot going on in the background. So on the toolbar with the magic wand, if you right click and click the quick selection tool, this will allow you to select different parts of your image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this tool, and I'm going to start by selecting what I need. If it does grab some of the background, we can go back and fix some of that. So I'm just going to keep grabbing her. And if I'm having problems grabbing, you can hold the shift key down and that will allow you to select more of your area. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep selecting her until I get what I want. There are other tools you can use, but I find this one to be the easiest tool in Photoshop. All right, almost got her. We want to make sure that we don't have any missing areas like her feet. There's also a gap right here in this part right here, her shoulder. Now once you have it selected, you can hit the Alt key on your keyboard. That is a shortcut, and that will allow you to select the negative space of the image. So just going in, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in with my magnifying tool and really get an idea of where I have some missing areas. And that's really important because if you have any of like cut off shoes, it won't be usable in the yearbook. Okay, and then remember the Alt key will get rid of your negative space. And that's looking pretty good. I'm just kind of looking. I've got this right here. You want to look through the whole image. There's some negative space. Alt key again. And just kind of going around. Shift is positive, Alt is negative. And it just takes a little bit of getting used to. And I'm almost done with her. Sometimes cutout can take a little longer depending on the background. So when you go out and take a photo intentionally and you're able to put a white background or green, something that's contrasting, that would be easy to cut out. Otherwise, you'll just have to kind of deal with the picture you have. Okay, so I've got her selected, and I want to get rid of the background. So what I'm going to do next is go up to the top where it says Select and Mask. Click on that. And right now it's in a weird transparency, and I'm just going to move this toolbar over so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that transparency, make it 100%. And then I'm going to change my smooth to probably about 5. And then you have different tools on the left side. You have, this allows you to select more of an area if you wanted to include it. But the second tool is really what I'm wanting to use. It's called the Refine Edge tool. And before I use this tool, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to help me see her. And I'm going to go to the Refine tool, and on your keyboard, another shortcut is the bracket keys that allows you to make your brush bigger or smaller. And so I'm just going to kind of keep my brush small, and I'm going to go ahead, especially her hair, and kind of just make her hair a little bit softer. I don't really want to do that to her arms. I could make her shoulders look odd. But if you had like any straggly pieces, like this one looks a little strange, I could go ahead and smooth that out. I'm just clicking and dragging and looking. And it looks like I did miss part of her shoe. If that happens, you can go back up to that quick selection tool and just select it, and it actually will add some of her feet. So that's kind of a nice new feature to the new Photoshop. Looks like I missed part of that. Sometimes it will get rid of, it will, you know, add a part that you don't want. So I went ahead and just clicked. You might have to make your brush a little smaller. It's the same thing. Shift is positive, Alt is minus. So it looks like I'm missing part of her thumb. Okay, and part of her arm. Just gonna add some of that. And I need to smooth her bumpy arm out. So going back with that refine tool, just kind of smoothing it out. Okay, and that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do next is where it says output setting, I'm going to click on the little arrow, and where it says output to, you want to put new layer and then click OK. When you do that, you have created a second layer. There's two layers here. This is the background layer, and this is the copy. So background layer is the original, and the background copy is there. To get rid of the background copy, you can just hit the I so you can see before and after. All right, so I think that's looking pretty good. I do want to make sure my resolution's changed, just the same process we did with doing a regular edit. So make sure you go to image, image size, and that your resolution is 300, and then click OK. And then I tend to crop as close as I can to the cutout, because it does make it a little easier when you put it into StudioWorks. So once I have my image, I'm ready to save it. I'm going to go up to the top, and I forgot to mention the checkered board background means that it's empty, that there's nothing there. So just make sure it's not white, because if it stays white, that means your whole image would have a white background instead of it being empty. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and I'm going to go ahead and rename this one. Make sure you put Edit at the end so you know you're done. Now, it's going to default it as a Photoshop file. If you're not done with something and you need to come back to it the next day, you can leave it as a Photoshop file. But if you're done and the cutout looks good, you need to change it to a PNG. So I know we're used to a JPEG, but it's going to be a PNG, which is going to keep it a cutout. So cutouts are PNGs, regular pictures are JPEG. That's really important. So I'm going to change it to a PNG, and I'm going to go ahead and save it, and just leave it large file size is fine, and click OK. And you've got yourself a cutout. And I will show you in the next tutorial how we add it to StudioWorks. Thank you.